Welcome to day 9 of Tour of America's Dairylands. This is the Shorewood Criterium. Started out losing some spots because they didn't do the national anthem. Just clicking on my computer right here because I had to rush to put my helmet back on, expecting a national anthem. Get next to Burgoyne here, who also had his helmet off at the start. It's like, oh, no America today. Anyway, we're continuing. In the girls' race before this, there was a big field split / breakaway. Like 10 girls up the road. And they stuck it for a while before they pulled it back together. And then I think one rider went off the front with like a few laps to go. So I was like hopeful for a breakaway today. Got Julian back on a bike on the left there. I kind of wanted a break. I thought maybe it could happen. Riding through the pack, just kind of trying to stay up. Preston giving one of the Germans a little grief. They sorted it out. I'm continuing on. Moving back up through the field after floating back a bit. And, inside of this final corner, there was a lot of bumps and rocks all over this course, but nothing too crazy. You just slide around a bit. Oh, Clayton, my teammate on the left there with an early attack. I think he hit the wind and he decided it was no longer a great idea. But he was active. There he is right there. This little move coming back. I was going to send it up the side here. Get a little active, but I lost the space, so I decided not to. So we are continuing on with staying up towards the front. ABC sending a rider. They were pretty close to the front this whole race. This corner here was a little wild. There was that grate on the inside. And then we're into the chicane, which has like a brick pathway crossing. Come back through the start finish here. There were plenty of preems. I think it was double preems today, so lots of preems keeping the race active. Broken apart, and here we are on the wheel. Some guys who had gone for a little preem there. I decided just keep the pace on up and over the top here. See if we could roll through. And I did. So here's one of my first attacks, I think. You can see somebody's on my wheel right there. Get through this corner. I took that corner really hot. I did not think I was going to make it about halfway through that turn. Definitely was pushing the bike pretty hard. But we got pulled back. And then Colby Sims off the front here. Colby Lang off the front here with one of the 5411 guys. I decided to jump onto that wheel. And we're rolling. Field was already on us, so there were these little breaks that went up the road often. And I was kind of concerned about a lot of them, but I didn't really have a team, so got to pick and choose what I'm going for. There's a preem going on right now, 5411 guy, and I think that's Dusan Kalaba on the right. Going for that 50 bucks. I kind of wanted to keep the pace on, so I did. I saw Cade on the right here. And rip this corner pretty good and maybe send a little move from the front. Those don't always work, but this time I got a little separation from the pack. Come around the 5411 guy. Look back, I think I saw maybe a Velvet rider on my wheel. I went to flick him through and he didn't really want to ride. So, oh no, it was Cade on my wheel. But we've got the whole pack on us, so it's pretty over. 40 minutes into this race. It was actually a pretty hard course. So, guys were sending it all the time. There's Fetzer right there. Oh, there's actually a move up the road. A pretty threatening move up the road at this point. And I'm just like trying to keep the pace on. I had talked to Brody before that. Brody had talked to me and he was like, oh, I think they're going to launch Fetzer across. Skyline's going to launch Fetzer across at some point. And that was the time. I think they tried to launch him right after my attack. So, I am attacking again. 38 minutes to go in the race. I really just want to keep it fast and maybe bridge across to this move. There were a lot of guys. There was like 5 or 6 guys. I think they had 2 to 3 Mido Q guys up the road, so pretty threatening. I think Skyline had missed it, but largely the other teams have made it. I think Troy from Project Echelon was up there. It didn't seem like Echelon was super happy with only Troy being up there, so they were trying to send like Colby and Steven across to it. At this point, this is the one where I looked back and I wanted this fellow of a guy to keep rolling through, but instead he just kind of slowly took the turn and then paced it on the front a little bit, which I didn't really understand, but we were bringing the breakaway back little by little. Held it like 20 seconds for a while, which was pretty threatening, but you can see it up the road right there. We're actually getting quite close. Danny Summerhill had just attacked there, trying to keep the pace high. You see the bikers guy taking the line. Sorry, Luca, for trying to chop a little too hard. I was thinking maybe I was going to have space, but I did not. So they called $1,000 preem at one point, and I think this is it. I think Ryan Gorman here is trying to go for that $1,000 preem, but there's that group up the road, so I don't think it's going to happen. Patrick Welch was actually off the front in the little breakaway too, and yeah, I'm sure he was helping to drive the break. He had gone down in that De Pere crash, and he's back on the bike, which is cool. Riding hard. ABC's got their full squad. And those two dudes who just went for that preem are getting pretty close to making it up to that group. And now our group is kind of slowing down a bit. So I'm concerned that the breakaway is going to go and it's going to stick, but I don't have enough matches to make it across. So I'm just going to hope that everybody else is concerned just enough to bring it back. Here we are with 13 minutes left to go. The break has come back, and now there's this little move off the front. There's just been a preem, and you can see Dusan Kalaba had gone for the preem, and he's sitting up. But there are two riders off the front. 13 minutes to go. So it's getting down to crunch time, and I don't want to sprint on this course. My legs are feeling real bad. Had kind of a cough for the past day or two, so I felt like I was breathing underwater. So I'm more than happy to go for a little breakaway action at the end. And up the road is familiar face in a breakaway, Keegan Hornblow, who was in that breakaway in day 2 with me, but also Stephen Bassett on Project Echelon, who can ride a break pretty well. He's super strong, former crit national champ. So I really wanted a bridge, but right now I am hurt. I made it across to him. We had like 8 to 10 seconds for the whole race, as in the rest of the race, as in 10 minutes from now. So we were riding super hard. We actually were working pretty well together. Nobody skipped a single pull, and we were all pulling, I think, pretty much as hard as we could. Steven was definitely pulling harder than either Keegan or I. He would just get on the front and accelerate the pace, and then he would just hold it. So being on his wheel kind of hurt, but it was good that we were going fast. So we kept rolling the field. We heard back there like ABC was pulling it back. They wanted to get Nolan into the top 10 in the overall, which confuses me a bit because overall only really pays the top 3. So I didn't really understand why they were trying to pull us back. But that's just kind of been the theme, like riders pulling stuff back in this race. But I was really hopeful. Here we are with 1 lap to go. I do my little pull through the start finish. We get around this. I flick the guys through. It's close. There's like 3 to 5 seconds. I think he said 3 seconds. Keegan attacks around me. I'm like, oh man, I remember this. Luckily, Steven was on it, but I didn't have enough pop to get up to there. I'm dying right now. So I'm just going to hold the power that I can and hope I can pull it back once Keegan sees that Steven's on his wheel. Luckily, we get through this corner, and I had been pretty confident in this corner, so take that corner pretty well and am able to catch up. But we look back, and there are riders like super close. I think I saw an ABC rider like trying to attack across to us and move over to the left here. Steven decides to take his last turn. I was like, oh man, I don't want to lose from a breakaway again. Like getting second that last time kind of hurt. After speed week, I was willing to like lose the whole thing just in order to win the sprint. And my legs were pretty bad on this day, so I got to gamble. I get up to Keegan here. He's sending his last little attack, keeping the pace super high. I'm like, maybe we make it. So I get onto his wheel, and I'm just going to attack or sprint. I guess at this point it would be a sprint once we get around that last corner. I kind of had wanted to go to the outside. Bassett had talked about going to the outside of this corner too. So I'm like positioning to be on the outside of him through this corner and get a little more momentum. But he takes a good line. I try to go to the outside and realize he's pretty far over there and I'm going to lose spots. But I start to kick and I have nothing. Steven's got more legs than either one of us, so he kicks pretty hard, makes it super far. Then all of a sudden Burgoyne from the field just comes out of nowhere. Another two guys. Burgoyne takes the win. Bassett held on for second, and then Ben Oliver in third. I got 6. Pretty exciting race. Thanks for watching. See ya.